And thank you for choosing the songs which take me right back, actually, for the 80s mixtape. David and Beeston, it's your songs at 3:30 this Monday afternoon, the 15th of June. And we've been keeping you in touch with everything that's been going on throughout lockdown here in Nottinghamshire. And there's no getting around the fact that for a lot of people, it's been a very, very difficult time with anxieties about health and about family and about money. Because when the lockdown was announced back in March, some people just had their work wiped out overnight. If you're self-employed, for example, lots of financial uncertainty ahead and a really worrying time. This is what happened to one Mansfield photographer, Elizabeth Orridge. She had photo shoots. They were all cancelled. But she's managed to find a new way of keeping occupied and giving something back to the community. And we can catch up with her now. Elizabeth, hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are you?
Really well, thank you. And good to have you on. Thanks for coming on. So as a
pleasure.
photographer, what was it like then when lockdown came in and you realised what that meant for your business?
It was a little bit surreal, actually. And although I was gutted, I did know in my heart of hearts that I would be okay. But over, let's say, a few days, I lost 4 months' worth of work, and families were cancelling out of caution, which is completely understandable. But it's more my wedding customers I felt for. So I've had 15 couples postpone their wedding day, and even this week, dates are still being postponed. So I think 2021 will be a busy year, catching up with not only this year's weddings, but next year's as well.
Yeah, it will. So what sort of, you obviously do weddings then, what other kind of photography work do you do?
So I do 25 to 30 weddings a year on my own, but I also run a photography studio in Mansfield where I do newborn photo shoots, family shoots, first birthday cake smashes. It's lots of fun, really. I don't really class it as work.
Oh, what's a first birthday cake smash?
So generally when you'd come and have a family photo, you'd have a couple of portraits of the child on their own in a really nice outfit to commemorate their first birthday, and then the rest of the session we let them eat a cake. Literally get really messy, get covered in it. It's really great fun, actually, until they leave and I have to tidy up.
But it must make lovely shots with the chocolate all
it's
around the
real
chops.
fun.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Oh, so all of that just stopped then, did it, overnight, really?
Yeah, as I say, I felt like we were living in a bit of a film, like a virtual reality where, just nothing seems to make any sense. But, as of today's been my first day back since March. So even with COVID-19 restrictions in place, it does feel good to be back at work.
I bet it does. So have you had some photo shoots booked in?
This week's busy. I've had a cake smashing this morning, a little boy in a dinosaur themed cake smash. So yeah, it's been really great fun, thank you.
Oh, good. So tell us what you've been doing then in the intervening time when you've not been able to do the photography.
So obviously with not being able to work from home, I knew that I needed something to do that would, one, keep me slightly sane, but two, also make a positive difference. And I actually saw on social media that people were looking for uniform wash bags. So if you're not sure what they are, if you are a key worker or an NHS staff, you'd have to take your uniform off as you leave the work premise and put all the clothes on to go home, and people were putting them in pillowcases so you can put them straight into the washer. So obviously, rather than using a pillowcase, I've been making them something a bit more comical and a bit more light-hearted, really.
Like what then?
So they've got really funky designs on. They've got bees and dinosaur. It's dinosaur themed today. Sorry. Look, comical prints. They've got cars on, tractors on. So it's been a light-hearted kind of thing to give them, really, in such a dark situation.
Yeah. Oh, well done you. So you're obviously multi-talented then. You can sew as well as do photography.
Well, I couldn't really sew before lockdown, I'm afraid. But obviously, with having lots of time off and very, very patient parents, I've actually learned how to sew.
Well, there's something to chalk up to experience after all of this. Yeah. And what's the connection with the John Eastwood Hospice?
To be honest, nothing other than living in the area. I was raising money through public donations to fund the wash bags so that I could give them away to these NHS and key workers. And at a point, I'd actually began to raise quite a lot of money, and I knew that this would be money that I wouldn't be able to sew quick enough. So as of up to date, I've made 850 items. So I'm making uniform wash bags, the ear protectors that save your ears from obviously being sore with the elastic, and now I'm making public face masks for them to wear on public transport while they're at work.
And there'll be a demand for that, won't there? Lots of demand for that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So before I started Just Giving page, I'd raised alone £600 and sewn 850 items, and I just thought it'd be really great if I could challenge myself to make 1,000 items and raise £1,000, which would be going straight to the hospice, because I didn't actually know before all of this that the hospice is run entirely on public donations and fundraising. And when I found that out, I just knew it was the right place to go to.
So you've managed to raise, how much have you raised for them?
Today, £850.
Brilliant. And you're hoping to get that up to £1,000, are you?
Hopefully.
Okay, well, if anyone's listening and they need they need your services in this way, they want to make a donation, you know where to find Elizabeth Orridge. Oh, brilliant. It's lovely to talk to you. And I can't stop thinking about these cake smashers. So would you do one, for example, for a 44-year-old woman? Or is it just for kids?
And I'm sure there could be Prosecco as well.
Right, we're on. Thank you, Elizabeth, and well done. It's brilliant to hear, and what a positive attitude from Elizabeth Orridge. She's a Mansfield photographer, and you heard what she said about the John Eastwood Hospice and all the important work that they do and their fundraising, so I'm sure you can find her very easily. It's BBC Radio Nottingham, 16 minutes past 3.
BBC Sounds. Boost your mood with 6 hours of pure